friends, hope you all are doing good. Now, we are beginning with cardiovascular system. These are all the topics to be covered in cardiovascular system, which includes acute rheumatic fever, rheumatic valvular heart disease, which is further divided into myocardial stenosis, myocardial regurgitation, aortic stenosis, aortic regurgitation, then infective endocarditis, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, which is also called as coronary artery disease and contains angina as well as myocardial infarction. Angina can be further divided into stable and unstable angina, whereas myocardial infarction can be divided into NSTEMI, that is non-ST elevation myocardial infarction, and STEMI, that is ST elevation myocardial infarction. Then heart failure, acute pulmonary edema, congenital heart disease, syncope, and arrhythmias. In this video, we will discuss about acute rheumatic fever. So, let's begin. Acute rheumatic fever. It is a condition due to immune-mediated response of the endocardium, myocardium to infection with specific group strain of streptococci, especially group A streptococci, which have the ability to cross-react with cardiac tissue. It means group A streptococci which reacts with cardiac tissue. And when there is infection with this group A streptococci, there is immune-mediated response of the endocardium and myocardium to this infection. In simple words, acute rheumatic fever is multisystem disorder which follows pharyngeal streptococcal infection. This acute rheumatic fever affects children mostly between 5 to 15 years of age. Streptococcal antigens have cross-reactivity with cardiac tissue and hence anti-streptococcal antibodies mediate inflammatory reaction in myocardium, endocardium and pericardium. This means as when there will be infection with streptococci, that is group A streptococci, then in the body anti-streptococcal antibodies will be present and this anti-streptococcal antibodies will mediate inflammatory reaction. Now moving forwards towards clinical features. The manifestations of acute rheumatic fever includes fever, malaise, lethargy, anorexia, and the symptoms are caused due to involvement of heart joint, skin and CNS. These manifestations generally occur 2 to 3 weeks after streptococcal pharyngitis. It means first streptococcal pharyngitis will occur and this will be followed by acute rheumatic fever after 2 to 3 weeks. This diagnosis is based on updated Jones criteria. Now we will see what is Jones criteria. So, Jones criteria contains two, that is major and minor criteria. In major criteria, it includes polyarthritis, carditis, chorea, subcutaneous nodules and erythema marginatum. To remember this, we can remember this like PCESC, that is PC escape. P for polyarthritis, then C for carditis, E for erythema marginatum and S for subcutaneous nodules. We will see this one by one. Now first we will look for minor criteria. Minor criteria includes clinical, that is fever and polyarthralgia. Laboratory diagnosis will include elevated ESR or TLC. Now as it is antigen antibody mediated reaction, so there will be inflammatory response as we have seen in the earlier slide. So there will be increased total leukocyte count. Then in ECG we will see prolonged PR interval. Also minor criteria includes previous rheumatic fever. Now we will see the first major criteria, that is polyarthritis. This polyarthritis, it is the early feature of acute rheumatic fever and occurs in about 75% of the patient. There is acute painful inflammatory involvement of the large joints and these joints are red, swollen and tender. Generally, the joints which are involved, they are ankle joint, knee joint, elbow joint, etc. What is migratory polyarthritis? Polyarthritis causes pain and swelling in the involved joint. And this pain and swelling in the involved joint, it will disappear as newer joints are affected. Hence, it is called as migratory polyarthritis. Now, carditis. Involvement of the pericardium, endocardium, and myocardium occurs in 40 to 50% of the patients in acute rheumatic fever. The symptoms are chest pain, palpitation, breathlessness. On examination, we'll get tachycardia, third heart sound, and murmur of mitral regurgitation. The most important feature of carditis is mid-diastolic murmur or Carey-Scum murmur, and this occur due to mitral valvitis. Also, this mid-diastolic murmur, it may occur because of the turbulent flow of the blood at the mitral or tricuspid valves. Most commonly involved valve in carditis is mitral valve. Second commonly involved valve is the aortic valve, and the least involved is the pulmonary valve. Now, chorea or Sydenham's chorea or St. Vitus dance. This is manifestation of CNS involvement in acute rheumatic fever. This is characterized by involuntary, purposeless movements of hands, feet, or face. Now, subcutaneous nodule. As you can see in the figure, they are 0.5 to 2 cm painless, firm nodules found over the extensor surface of the joints. The presence of this subcutaneous nodule signifies underlying rheumatic heart disease. Erythema marginatum. This is one of the major criteria of Jones, included in Jones criteria, and it occurs in less than 10% of the patients. They are rapidly disappearing red macules with pale centers over the trunk and proximal extremities. Now for investigation, we will see blood culture, which includes leukocytosis, raised ESR. Throat swab culture, it is taken for identification of streptococci, and in acute rheumatic fever, it is positive for group A streptococci. As there is infection of streptococci, the anti-streptolysin O titer is raised in the body to approximately 200 units. Now, to rule out carditis, we can investigate chest X-ray, ECG, and echocardiography. Now, treatment. For treatment, eradication of streptococci is the major treatment. So, for this, erythromycin 250 mg 6 hourly oral or oral penicillin 500 mg twice daily, a 10-day course is required. Then bed rest. Bed rest for what? For the patients of severe carditis and for polyarthritis to reduce joint pain. Then salicylates. Aspirin is given in 6 divided dose of 60 to 120 mg per kg per day to relieve arthritis. Also, steroids like prednisolone in the dose of 1 to 2 mg per kg per day may be given to the patients with severe carditis and CHF. Now, secondary prevention. Secondary prevention is used to prevent subsequent pharyngeal infection with group A streptococci. For this, oral penicillin V 250 mg twice daily, oral sulfadiazine 1 gram daily, erythromycin 250 mg twice daily, and benzathine penicillin G intramuscularly 1.2 million units every 3 weeks are given. These are given for at least 5 years after acute rheumatic fever without carditis and for 10 years with acute rheumatic fever with carditis. This was all about acute rheumatic fever. In the next video, we will see the next topic of the cardiovascular system.
Please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for notification. Also, don't forget to like. Thank you.